Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bite Time. My name is Terry Toot, and today's show will be called Innovations Are Coming Your Way. You're probably saying, what is this crazy guy doing? Sounds like a TV show, but it's not. It's our podcast for today. We're going to talk about the emerging technologies that are on the horizon. Some of you might have heard of, some of them are quite new or not really new, but within the last few months. Excuse me. And we get into all that. And also, this is Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all you fantastic mothers out there. My mother's not here anymore, but I miss her and miss her dearly. I love her very much. So happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. We have NBA playoff games today. We have hockey playoffs. We got Major League Baseball. So it is a packed weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's come on back, have a great show, and live your funk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Bite Time. My name is Terry Toot, and like I said, today's show we call Innovations Are Coming Your Way. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to recognize um, very happy Mother's Day to all you fantastic mothers, especially my mother. Like I said, she's been gone since 2019. I miss her, think about it daily. I love her, and I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all you fantastic mothers, people I've known over my life and that are not here. But I just want to say thank you for all your help, perseverance, and just support. And round of applause to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Some of you mothers were mothers and fathers, um, teachers, whatever, head of the household and all, and you deserve that appreciation because sometimes, like Bob Marley would say, "The woman's a nurturer." I can't do the Jamaican accent, but he would say the mother's a nurturer, and they are so profoundly correct, Bob Marley. And excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, clear my throat here. Excuse me, sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. But yeah, happy Mother's Day again to all you women out there, the real women out there. Okay. Like I said, we got a big slate this weekend. Like I said, Mother's Day weekend. We got NBA basketball. My New York Knicks are playing today at the world's most famous arena at the Mecca at Madison Square Garden against the Boston Celtics. They're up 2-0, 2-0, how you say, in the English Premier football. Um, and then we have the other game that's coming on today, Minnesota at Golden State. That's a late game. That's an ABC ESPN game. So, and then we got the hockey playoffs. Let me get in there. I can't leave them out. Let's see. Hockey playoffs, they have those on today. Yes. We got the Washington Nationals are playing, excuse me. Yeah, Washington Capitals. Nationals of a baseball team. Sorry about that. They play at Carolina Hurricane. That's a 6 o'clock game. And then the Vegas Nighthawks is an in-ring team my nephew plays for. The Vegas Knights, they play at Edmonton, Alberta, and that's a 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time game. So, in that matter, let's go on, start the show. Oh, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, if you see the new icon on my page for Podbean, That is my those are gonna be shirts I'm gonna be selling. If you're interested, just hit me up, and the shirts will be ready on. I was told the shirts will be ready on May 22nd. So far, the sizes I have will be large and extra large. We're going to see how this model works. If it works out, hey, we got some shirts. But this is the new monogram for my podcast. So bite time. This is it. I hope you guys like it. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If not, hey, we're still going to keep it up. So on that note, let's get the party started. So, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really why I'm got a frog in my throat. So bear with me. I'm going to get a drink of water. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, so you know that there's a lot of technology that's going on in the world today, and there's always a change that's always coming. So I'm going to talk about some of the ones that are coming that are here, but no one really talks about them that much, and just a little explanation on how it works. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is generative generative AI, which is artificial intelligence. Okay, so what this is, it's an artificial intelligence that can create new content, including text, images, audio, video, based on patterns learned from existing data. It sounds familiar as regular Chat GPT. I'm gonna get to you in that difference. It also use sophisticated algorithms um, for patterns, certain and it analyzes patterns and allowing to create. Um, or generate novel and original content. So that's something to think about. We'll get into the difference. So basically, there's training, there's content, and examples. So in generative AI, basically you're trained on massive data sets. Okay, right? Like just like you want to feel like you're playing a new team. Okay, you never heard of them, never played them before. You have an idea from what they give you a scouting sheet. Okay, so in this case where you're gonna find out who's who's what, who can do good, who can do not good. In this case, you're gonna find out um, what are the data sets. Okay, you got to identify certain patterns. Okay, in the relationships within that data. So you got to figure that all out. Okay, so you basically what they're saying is you got to feel out what it is. Okay, so once you get a lot of training and hard work and you know battling out on what it is, okay, you go start working on the content you want to create. It might not be the same, it might be a little similar, okay, but it will not be identical. It will not be identical. It's original format that you're creating, your data, okay? So, what they're saying here is, for examples, generative AI models can be used to create text based content like poems, articles, code, generate images, create music. So you could I've seen it, okay, and you could come up with these ideas with music, videos, all kind of stuff. So, and that's how that works, okay. And so the reason why they're thinking this stuff is because people want they want to get away with getting rid of a person. Instead, you can use a computer to think of this AI, okay. So you're probably saying, so what's the difference between AI, okay, and Chat GPT? AI is a broad field of artificial intelligence. Chat GPT is specific implementation of it. That's all it is. So it's implementing, like AI is a broad field of artificial intelligence. Chat GPT is specific. You are specifying, hey, I want to create this specifically, just this. This is what I want. But an AI, generate AI is just a similar. Okay, that's what that means. All right. Mr. Milo is back. How you doing, sir? Do you like my new my new icon I have here for bite time. So, Mr. Milo is back again. Thank you for coming on again, sir. I hope you like my new icon. Uh, just something I put up there. Okay, that's going to be for my shirts. All right. So next, ladies and gentlemen, this is one that's going to take a little rattling because I had to figure this out myself. This next one. Next thing, I don't know if you heard of quantum computing. All right, quantum computing. Okay, quantum computing. I'm going to give you two how it's read. Multidisciplinary field that utilizes the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations. Um, so, like in basic computers, we have the bits of 0 and 1. You know, every time you add up 0, 1, 0, 1, that adds up, right? And you're computing, and this is what you're using for computing. Okay, quantum computers use qubits. All right, and they exist in a superposition in both 0 and 1 simultaneously. Okay, this is going to allow for faster times, faster processing of really, really complex calculations. All right. So basically, what they're saying is quantum computers are going to take the 0, 1, 0, 1, super fast, super fast calculations, very complex. Okay. It's almost like the IBM supercomputers that they have. So basically, quantum computer is probably double that. Okay. So those big computers you see that IBM has or supercomputers that they have, well, a quantum computer just takes it two steps higher. Okay, so basically in qubits, I'm learning this also. I'm quantum computing. Okay, um, like I said, it's a 0, 1 combination together. Okay, so what they're saying here, quantum phenomenon where a qubit can exist in multiple 0 and 1 simultaneously, allowing for a parallel computation. So saying they're doubling up, tripling up uh, calculations. Okay. So, and also in quantum algorithms, okay. So what they're saying here is algorithms designed to take advantage of unique capabilities of quantum computers, such as Shor algorithm for factoring large numbers or Grover's algorithm for searching databases. And potential applications they will use. Okay, so you got drug discoveries um, for molecular interaction to accelerate the development of new drugs. So, like, if someone comes up with a new type of drug, they're using the quantum computing to figure out the calculations of that. Okay, um, financially, most definitely. Okay, for financial portfolios, managing risk is something that you can think of. All right, and like I said, there are challenges with quantum computing. Um, very sensitive to environment and require extreme isolation to maintain coherence. So basically, it has to be away from like regular servers. So you must have a large silo of quantum computing area. That's how you have to have this now. Thank you, Lou Rock. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying typing. Okay, cool. We got Lou Rock. We got Milo on here. Great. Thank you for coming on. All right, next. I've talked about this before. Um, 5G expansion. We talked about 5G. You know how everybody says, "Oh, I gotta have 5G. I gotta have 5G. Gotta have 5G." Okay, so we have 5G now. We're going through 5G expansion now. Okay, so we are still deploying 5G, but we're expanding that 5G network now to much larger areas in the country. Okay, so instead of we're going from the city to the suburban areas to rural areas because rural areas was a hard because sometimes like some cellular areas had to be picked up by another carrier. You know what I mean? And 5G didn't exist out there, so basically you were roaming. Okay, and it still exists in some areas. Okay, But the 5G expansion, this is the next undertaking to 5G, ladies and gentlemen. Um, like I was saying, it's going to increase coverage from urban areas, rural areas, and hard to reach places. Like if you live in the foothills of West Virginia or like country places like Mississippi down there, and there's no coverage, you sometimes it's picked up by another carrier. Here with 5G, you have one carrier, you'll be able to be picked up. Okay, the spectrum, the spectrum on the network is going to be expanded even more. It's going to use millimeter wave technology, so you can use more devices, plus that coverage area. So spectrum is real important in this area. Okay, the faster speeds with the 5G expansion, um, lower latency because there's always going to be latency on cell phones because it's micro technology. All right, so the bandwidth is going to make a big difference too. So if you got higher bandwidth, also that spectrum, because you have to buy that spectrum from somebody, could be for I think you buy that from the government, right? So much spectrum. Um, but the bandwidth is owned by, like, say, Verizon. Um, who else out there? T-Mobile owns it too. Any of the local bells have those. That's where you go. That's where another problem. I mean, another situation where we need more bandwidth. Okay. Also, it comes with deployment and the activation of IoT or the Internet of Things. Okay. So you need that bandwidth, 5G expansion. Okay. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, 5G expansion is very hard to install and to deploy. It's very expensive too. Because 5G expansion, you need a lot of spectrum. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Hardware you need. You got your telecoms that are out there, Sienna. Who else is out there? Telecoms. Hawaii. Who else is out there? Cisco. So here are people. They're not don't even own telephone lines, but they have equipment, and this is what's needed. So it's very costly for that. Um, you need like a site surveys done on this. Fiber connectivity, you need fiber. Fiber's not cheap. And also you need skilled people to do this stuff. You can't just throw a person out there and say, hey, you go out there, site survey, boom. No, you have to train people for this. So 5G expansion is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not going anywhere. Okay. All right. Next, I probably talked about this before, virtual reality 2.0. I've talked about virtual reality. I'll get into the difference in that between virtual reality and virtual reality 2.0. Okay. Virtual reality is characterized by advancements in AI. We already talked about that, right? Your resolutions are going to be much better. Okay. Better in interactions, enhanced. Okay. More immersive. So basically, when you have those goggles on, it's gonna be like you are actually felt like you are in there. My neighbor has a game next door. I played it, and the VR is virtual. Oh my god, it's excellent, ladies and gentlemen. You feel like you're floating in the air. I mean, in space, but you're not. You have these goggles on, and you're playing a game, and you swear you're touching like a star or a moon or something. That's how immersive, realistic this is. Okay. With AI technology, ladies and gentlemen, this is making it virtually beautiful. I mean, the scenery and the responsive and the virtual characters are beautiful. Okay, your refresh rates are doubled. Excellent resolution is excellent, ladies and gentlemen. Very sharp. Um, it's just beautiful. It's excellent, and it's just you cannot go wrong here. What else does it has that's making it better, ladies and gentlemen, is the even the sound that's coming into your headsets and doing with the virtual reality is impeccable, right? And like I said, you basically have a full body experience with this, something that you've never had before. and it's virtually coming through these goggles or whatever you have. Excellent, ladies and gentlemen. Um, like you can feel like you don't feel it, but your body is feeling like the temperature and like say wind and all that stuff from Mother Nature. But you're wearing these goggles and making you feel that way because of the VR. Okay, and also, ladies and gentlemen, there's user generate content where you can create these virtual situations. Okay, so it makes it even more pleasant. Say you could do this. We have Miss Auntie Tina on. Miss Auntie Tina, Auntie Tina, thank you for coming on. I want to say thank you all, everyone, for coming on. Happy Mother's Day to you, Auntie Tina. If you're a mother, just do this real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, all everybody. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. All right, so one thing I want to say before I move on from virtual um, VR, um, ladies and gentlemen, this is costly. It is very costly using this technology, but it's very, very, very good. Okay, they use it in training in schools, work, entertainment, and it's excellent. Now I'm gonna give you some examples. PlayStation VR2, virtual, beautiful, excellent, excellent. Meta, they have the system. The Quest Pro, excellent graphics. I'm not a big fan of Mark Zuckerberg, but the graphics on there are unbelievable. And there's another gaming set I never heard of called VIZN Gaming's Ultra VR system. I'm gonna read it to you real quick. The system uses AI to render only one eye view and then reconstructs the view in 3D, enabling 360-degree virtual experiences for conventional video games. So you got one eye, but it's telling you the other eye is experiencing the same thing you're seeing. Unbelievable. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. But that's that is VR 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. VR 2.0. All right. And like I said, that's the technology that's out there and it's not going anywhere. It's here. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I do want to mention there is a difference. I thought I had it between VR. Okay, here it is. The difference between VR and VR 2.0. VR 2.0 represents a significant leap forward with traditional VR, offering enhanced features and experiences. VR focused on immersion through visuals and spatial audio. Now 2.0 takes it higher resolutions, full body haptics, and expanded use cases beyond entertainment. So basically, what they're saying here, ladies and gentlemen, trying to be normal here, is what they're saying is that VR to VR 2.0 means that we doubled everything up, including graphics, audio, and then full body um, resolution or full body interaction. That's what they're saying here. So, yeah, so that's great. All right, cool, 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 cool. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Internet of Things. You probably heard of IoT. You know what that is, okay? So basically, it's a network of physical devices. So we have your phone, okay? You have your tablet, a vehicle, and these are all working together through apps. That's why it's called the Internet of Things, okay? And it works on both Android, okay, and it works also on Apple, okay. So you basically, like, say for instance, Internet of Things, you download an app, let's say from Google, right? And you bought these new headphones. I'm gonna use headphones as a good example. You bought these new headphones, and they're saying, listen, if you want that immersion sound or that audio sound, that symphony sound, download this app, and you're gonna get the sound that's coming in so much better. And it's true. And it's true. I will tell you this because I bought a brand new pair of Sennheiser Centum headphones. Sound like crap. Once I downloaded the app from Google, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it connected no problem whatsoever. And the sound was like double clearer and more precise. Okay. So that's what it means, Internet of Things. With TVs, we download apps for your TVs now. Okay. We can actually do interaction with the TV, thermostats, your security cameras, smart lighting systems. Okay. Fitness trackers, ladies and gentlemen, smartwatches, all that stuff. Internet of Things. Okay. We have it, ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not. We have it. It's not going anywhere. There's a platform that the developers created, and we're all incorporating our lives with this, downloading the apps. So we have internet cooperation between our app and the device. Okay. And Apple, like I said, Apple, the same thing. You download it to the iPad or to your MacBook, whatever, or the watch, same thing. Internet of Things. Smart. I mean, I don't think you have many TVs. Because Apple is not in the business of TVs, but they have many watches, and you are able to, you know, coalesce with your device. Okay. And the last item on the agenda for today is blockchain. Now, this is something really, really I had to dig into to find more information. So basically, what it is, I'll read what it says here. Blockchain is a digital shared unalterable ledger that records transactions across a network of computers. Cryptocurrency was notorious for blockchain, and I think it still is. All right. They have really, really, really good encryption with the blockchain. Mostly this is used in financial situations. Okay. Cryptocurrency, you need a lot of computers, right, to keep that your encryption alive. Okay. So basically, it's very secure blockchain. Okay. um you can't trace it. Okay, because it's very difficult to trace it. You can track your data. Okay, once you get like an account or type of thing. Um that's what it's made for, mostly for cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies, you need a lot of encryption in here, and this is something that's really, really fat, that's really out here, and people are using it. If you're into cryptocurrency, blockchain is used, plain simple. It really is. But you need a lot of computing for that. Okay. Um, so you're gonna need computers a lot, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna need a lot of encryption rolling, because even though it's a really good technology, it has its faults. Okay. So what if somebody slips and they get hacked? Okay. It's still difficult, because you're going through a whole lot of encryptions that you try to get through. It's not easy, but everybody says the same thing. Nothing is guaranteed out there. Okay. All right. So it's going across a mountain of computers, almost like supercomputers. Okay. So that's another thing that you have to do if you're into the blockchain. All right. Another thing, it's like I say, when a transaction is made, okay, it's very difficult or even hard to delete that the permanent and verifiable record has been completed. That's the thing. Okay. Um, Another thing too, transparency. Okay. Your transactions are visible. Okay. Anyone can verify them and track the history of the data. That's the thing. But to try to delete something is going to be difficult. Okay. Security, like I was just talking about, it's difficult. There's security, the encryption they have in this stuff is unbelievable. Okay. Um, so you have to be aware of how you want to go about using blockchain. Okay. Um, Blockchains using supply chain management. Say, for instance, you have a factory and you got records of, okay, today and this month we shipped out blah blah blah, this amount of, let's say, beef. This amount we shipped out. This amount of buns. This amount we shipped out. uh, fruit. The following month, you want to find out, okay, we need to go back. Okay. There might have been an error somewhere. So that's another difficult thing you got to think about there. Um, Also, the digital identity for blockchain. It can be used to create a verified verifications with signal digital entries for identity. And also, it's easier to identify a person online, who they are. Who are you? Who are you? Okay. Who the hell are you? Okay. Blockchain can verify quickly who that is. Okay. Also, blockchain can be used for your property rights. Like, say for instance, I created a song, which it never in hell would ever happen. Say for instance, I created a song, okay, and I use a blockchain technology on here. All right, anyone tries to infringe on that copyright, it'll automatically flag that person and put their ass in jail. Okay, who's trying to copyright, trying to use my music without my authorization, but blockchain will let me know, or let my attorney know, hey, there's someone used your stuff. We flagged them, we got them, we're gonna sue them. Okay, so that's the crux in blockchain, and a lot of people like it too. So, but on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna say goodbye, and I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day weekend, and I hope next week you'll come back and enjoy my conversation again. And I hope, like I said, happy Mother's Day. Um, Auntie Tina, if you're a mother, just wave at me or something. And hey, let me know if you like the new icon for my podcast. Anybody say something? Do you like the new icon? My new thing I got. If you say, just give me a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I'll have shirts coming out on May 22nd. If you're interested, just send me an email. Um, and I appreciate everybody coming on. Everybody came on today. I hope you have a great weekend. If you're a mother out there, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. I love you. I miss you so much. And that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end the show. This is in air. I hope you enjoyed Blue Rock. Yay, yay. Auntie Tina, thank you all. I appreciate you, the support. Enjoy your weekend. Light in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the music, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here next week. Take care.